One of the biggest debates among humans is whether God is real or not. No matter what God you believe in, there is always a debate whether they are real or they're not. Now, proving that God is real is it's not possible, right? Not with by the terms we call scientific. You cannot prove it, right? You can have evidence for it, but never really prove it. That's why it's called faith, right? You have faith that this God exists. Now, I don't really care too much for whether you believe or whether you don't, but I want to talk about basically the impact that religion as a whole has shaped us humans. I think personally that religion has done a great job in allowing us to be big groups of people and doing amazing things, right? Because the thing is, if you didn't have a God, right, people would just do bad things, right? That's the reality, right? People will do bad things. People still do bad things, even though they believe in a God. When you have big groups of people, there comes a certain point where you don't get to know everyone within that group, right? Let's say it's like 1,000 people. You can't get to know everyone. Whereas, like, let's say it's like 10 people, you can all hold each other accountable and you all know each other. And it's a lot easier not to be bad, if you will. But in a group of 1,000 people, let's say hunter and gatherers, for instance, there's 1,000 of them. Now, sometimes you might sneak a bit more food, or you might not, do things that are seen as good because they benefit oneself. But if you believe in a God, then it's like a surveillance of that God at all times, and you know that anything you do that's bad will be punished, right? Or whatnot. And that's what most religions teach, right? God is always watching. He knows when you're doing bad things. He knows when you're doing good things. Probably best to do the good things, right? And I think most people, I would hope everyone would agree on that is obviously not what religion is, but it's a core part. And I think that's what has allowed us to build these massive empires and do amazing things, is because the majority in these communities, in these cities, in these empires that we've built, believed in a God. And I think you'd be silly to think that without it, we wouldn't be where we are today. And so I was having this conversation with my brother, actually, about, imagine we went to a different planet and we had life that was similar to us, fairly intelligent. And he said, what if there's religious texts that matched up to our religious texts? And I said to him, well, whatever religious text matches up with the one we've got here is the one I believe in, right? So whatever's here and on a completely different planet and is saying the exact same thing, whoa, okay, I'm believing straight away. But then it got me thinking, what would make us not believe in a God, right? Because I feel like if you are a religious person and you have been for a good few years and you wasn't born into it, because I feel like a lot of people that are born into it sort of dip out and then they dip back in. I feel like if you do come into religion, in your adult life, normally, from what I can observe, no studies done, people generally stay in that religion, right? And they might switch to a different religion, but they stay religious. So to get someone to not believe in their God is, you're going to have to put some real good evidence down. And again, disproving God is just as hard as proving him. Anyway, I come back to that thing as what I was talking to my brother about. And I would say, what if we went there and there was no sign of this same religious text, or maybe there's no religion at all. And maybe if there is a religion, it's nothing like ours and it's completely different. Would that kind of disprove it? I would argue, yeah, it would. In a backwards kind of way. And that scares me, because somewhere very soon, and when I say soon, maybe in the next 5 to 1,000 years, because we are moving so rapidly, I believe that we will be able to go to other planets and see life, maybe not like ours, maybe not as advanced, maybe way more advanced than us, that basically indicate that the God that we believe in, the God that we had on this earth, is not true, kind of scares me. Because then once that is confirmed, or not confirmed, right? Because if it goes the other way, then that's great and beautiful. And if it doesn't, that kind of scares me. Because imagine everyone going, oh, there's no God. We've been sold a lie. Most people, I think a lot of people, start to do not very nice things. And that is pretty scary. Because I think we all like to believe that we'll do good and no matter what. But what we don't really understand is a lot of our morals, our cultural things, all stem from a religion. Right? The things we do, it stems from religion. A lot of it. And so if you take that away and go, well, that's a straight up lie, man. What does that leave us with? Kind of leaves us as we are these animals that are just fighting for survival, and all we're doing is trying to eat and survive and have shelter over us and have pleasure and things of that nature. That's very scary. It's a scary thing to think about.